Hey guys, this is Big Mama, and you're watching Hashtag True with Scott Larson.
Cause we're always looking out for you. Always looking out for you. Always looking out for you. Always looking out for
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. Tonight we have the Foundation. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good.
We
Doing
are
all
doing
right.
we are doing really good, man. I am excited. I haven't been behind the mic in a week. Our last interview kind of fell short, and the guy didn't have good internet. It's all good though. We're gonna reschedule him. Let's start right off by talking to Sean Ellering. Mr. Manager, tell us all about your tag team you have here, the Foundation.
Well, these two guys I've known for quite a while, and it was just kind of like magic that we all gravitated toward each other, and we just decided to run with it as a tag team. Like I said, I've known Dylan and I've known Travis for a long time, and when we all first met, they were in separate tag teams, and then it just kind of like we just kind of like magnetized toward each other and just decided to run with it.
And run with it you did, because I heard you guys, and this might be a rumor, just a rumor or something, but I heard you guys are even going to be adding on, or you already have added on to the Foundation.
Yeah, we've got two other guys that are with us now. A young guy and another guy that we've known for a while, and they're also part of the Foundation, and it's just a growing group, man.
So you guys have turned basically from a tag team to a faction, correct?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. Travis, tell us where you guys have been wrestling at. Where can we find the Foundation?
Oh man, the Foundation, we're basically everywhere. Recently we have been. This Saturday we're going to be in Sylva, North Carolina, for a benefit show with Randy Wayne, and then next week we're going to be doing our own promotion, Wrestling for Christ, with brother Richie Scruggs at the Riceville Community Center. So we've been traveling a lot recently, especially on the weekends, just trying to make the roads and get seen and get out there.
That's awesome. Dylan, tell me, how did you meet these guys, man? Since you're the one that's excluded from the party here, I don't know how that happened, but how'd you meet these two guys? How did you become the Foundation?
Oh, well, I've been in the business quite a while before these guys broke in. And I met them through High Velocity Wrestling in Hendersonville. That's where I trained. I trained under Viper. These guys showed up. Travis was a part of another tag team. Sean hadn't even started managing yet. And I think a spot came open one night that a guy didn't show up, and we needed a tag team, and boom, that's how it started. It started the Foundation. We've had several members that started this thing, and it's Travis and I and Sean have stuck through since 2013.
Nice.
It's been a great journey, and we look forward to the future, doing many great things with this tag team. It's starting to grow more. Younger guys are starting to come to us, asking for the advice. What can we do? Can we travel with you guys? That's a pretty good feeling, to have the guys look up to you a little bit. We're not the best, but we're there to help when we can.
That is awesome. Now, I just heard from Sean that you guys are doing this show, Wrestling for Christ. Tell me a little bit about that show and what it means to you. And I'll come back to Travis and Sean after you.
Wrestling for Christ really has just taken over, for the foundation and what we're doing in wrestling. Several years back, I approached Brother Richie Scruggs and asked him, what could I do in wrestling as far as, ministry work? And at that time, there wasn't really a lot that, going on. He gave me a few leads and, some guys that I could get a hold of. But like I said, there wasn't a lot going on. And earlier this year, Brother Richie, says, I'm going to take wrestling to the Philippines. And we said, we'd love to go. There were several others, that asked, showed interest in going. And I told Travis and I said, we're going to do this. And he agreed. This is something that we wanted to do. And, we went to the Philippines. We wrestled. And since coming home, it's really turned our wrestling life around. We want to do more with Wrestling for Christ. And not saying, really putting all the promotions that we work for on the back burner, but we want to put our main focus on Wrestling for Christ and what we can do through the ministry.
I got to tell you, just like I did Mr. Scruggs when I had him on Hashtag Truth, the video of you guys pulling up to that wrestling ring, I swear to God, you guys look like rock stars, man. I mean, I was waiting for him to start jumping on the car. I mean, that's how awesome that was. I couldn't believe the sight of that video. And from then on, I was hooked. Every picture you guys put on Facebook after that, I was hooked and I was watching, and when, I can't remember the number, but I know it was a pretty high number that you guys said that you brought them to Christ. That just amazed me. That was awesome, man. And I just can't tell you how that warms my heart because I'm a Christian, and I know we're getting off topic of wrestling, but that is a great thing. And if you guys ever need me in any way, shape, or form, I will be here for you, man. And Mr. Scruggs, I've already told him that too. So keep up the good work, man. I love to see that stuff. It's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Sean, I've seen you guys one time. I have to be honest. I saw you guys one time in person. It was at New Millennium Championship Wrestling, and I've got to say, you guys look beast when you come to the ring. I mean, you guys, you guys come in and take over, man. Is that the look you want to have for the foundation? I mean, where they just come in and just, they take what they want.
It's all about the persona that these guys have. In the business, image is everything in the business, and these two guys are without a doubt powerhouses when it comes to their performance in the ring. And it is just a matter of taking that energy and focusing it on their goal, and just to come out there and be able to put on a show. It's just fantastic to see them work.
So have you ever got to the back after one of their matches and not liked what you saw?
I don't ever recall a time of that. No. These guys are consummate professionals. They really stick to a game plan and really try to do the best to perform for the fans. And I have never not liked what they have done. Now, everybody has an off night and things change. You know what I'm saying? Stuff happens. And these guys have always risen to it and kept a professional mannerism. Now, in the locker room, the real personalities sometimes come out and, there's words that are said, but, it's still professional.
No doubt.
And
no doubt.
it's still respectful, but, sometimes when you're dealing with younger guys, sometimes you got to be a little harsh with them.
No doubt about it. Sean, tell me, who is your biggest nemesis as a tag team?
I mean, who have we not angered? I mean, we've got. It really depends on where we're at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we.
I'm gonna stop you.
Okay, go ahead.
5-star district.
Oh, okay. that should get some heads turning because already we've got boom, baby.
Okay. Let me be honest with you. 5-star district. We've known those guys for quite a while. In fact, I trained with a couple of them, and Aaron was one of the original members of the foundation. There's no doubts about that. There's no
Right.
denying that. And Aaron is and has been a close friend. And, you know, sometimes good friends turned out to be better enemies. What can I say?
So when he turned to the dark side, it made it real, right? It made a good fight.
Well, he left the fold, so, you know, he's got to pay the piper for that. You know, it's just the way it is.
So Travis, that's Sean. Oh, you were the one who said 5-star. Who do you think, Sean?
I'd have to agree with him. 5-star is probably the biggest nemesis we got going right now.
Okay.
Just because of talent wise, they're probably one of the best ones that can stay toe to toe with us.
All right, Dylan. Who's your favorite tag team to wrestle? Maybe not your biggest nemesis, but who's your favorite tag team to wrestle?
I mean that's tough. I mean we've had some really great matches with different tag teams. I mean from the Phoenix Brothers, 5-star district, the Ring Brothers. I mean we've had some very, very good matches.
Come on, man, shout somebody out.
As far as like chemistry wise, I'm gonna say 5-star district, and there,
Okay.
you know, there's a story behind that. The first guy I ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring with was Aaron Vaughn.
Right.
You know, we trained together, and we wrestled our first match together, and that was quite a while ago. So over the years, we've built the chemistry. I mean, when we step in a ring, it's game time.
Right. I definitely noticed that, man. You guys are I can't remember how long you said you've been together, but it looks like you've been together 20 years, man, when you guys get in the ring. I mean, you guys tag in and out, you know where each other's at all times. I mean, you guys know how to cut off the ring. I mean, it also helps that you got Sean, going around the outside, making sure everybody stays in, if you know what I mean. And, I've seen a few times where Sean's went to running. I won't name names, Chuck Winchester, but, it's just, but, I had to do that, man. My producer made me.
He is your producer.
But yeah, so what do you think about Chuck? You and Chuck have went head to head. I saw you guys go head to head at New Millennium. 5-star came out. You guys were ran out of the ring. What do you say? What would you say about Chuck Winchester, aka the best? How does he say it here? Let me put it up here.
The hottest commodity in professional wrestling.
The hottest commodity in professional wrestling. The manager's manager, the maker of mayhem, and the bringer of boom. What do you think about Chuck Winchester?
I think he's practiced tooting that horn a little too much. I've known Chuck for quite a while, and I'm sure he'll back that up. We've known each other since HVW days, and we've bumped heads quite a lot. I'll say that. And what I think of him, I try not to because it gives me a headache.
I love it. So go around the table, or I'm going to act like we're sitting at a table because there's 4 of us. Go around the table and tell me how many years you have in professional wrestling.
That's you.
How long have you been?
10 years for me.
So probably about 9.5 for me.
Okay, Dylan.
15.
15. Wow. Pretty nice. Well, I got to show you this. Somebody wants to see Dylan versus Aaron at IWC. 1-on-1. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. I like that.
We'll do it.
No doubt, man. So, oh my gosh. I've got so many things to talk about. It's hard to, I've got notes and notes and notes. When you guys found out you were coming on #Truth, what? I can't speak tonight, man. I don't know what's going on. What went through your mind when Chuck Winchester came to you and asked you to be on #Truth? What did you think?
It's about time.
That's it.
I love that. I deserve that. But there are so many wrestlers, man. When I started this thing off, I really didn't realize how many wrestlers are just in my area alone. I thought, there'd be a few here, then I'd be able to go out. I'm still working on South Carolina and North Carolina, and I'm 6 months in. So, and I have a show 2-3 days a week. So there's a lot of wrestlers out there, a lot of young talent that is coming into wrestling. What would you tell the young talent that's coming in, that especially those that want to be part of a tag team, man? What would be your first thing to tell them to be careful of?
Well, with these two guys, seeing them, being friends as long as they have, not necessarily tag team, but they've been friends a lot longer than that. So, that's the first step, being able to be friends with your tag team partner. And then, traveling together, working things out. It's definitely helpful to be in the same vehicle, traveling to the shows together, because then you can talk a lot of stuff out like we do when we're traveling. Main thing, and this might rub some people the wrong way, but first things first, get trained. Don't go out, buy some ties, and just jump in there and say you're a pro wrestler, because that's not how it is. That's how people get hurt. So if a young person wants to get involved, contact some guys like these two guys right here in your area. Get trained up the right way. Listen to them. They're not going to steer you wrong. And then when they say, okay, now it's time, then they'll get you in the ring with them and work you up that way.
Dylan, you've been in the business, you said, for close to 15 years. How long would you tell a young wrestler who's just getting into the business, how long should he train before actually getting in the ring for his first match?
That's really going to depend on the person. Some people are going to pick it up quicker than others. Typically a year, or in some cases 2. I trained for probably close to a year before I had my first match. It's definitely a good thing to get the proper training. We've had incidents where we get in the ring with guys who just have no clue what they're doing. And there was an incident, I'm not going to mention names, but there was an incident over the weekend with another worker that was hurt, seriously hurt. And
you're talking about the Ugly Ducklings, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The man was seriously hurt, and it's because he got, in the ring with somebody who wasn't properly trained or trained at all. We're talking about our livelihood here. Most of us work a real job Monday through Friday. We provide for our families, and if, some goofball gets in there that has no clue what they're doing, that could really affect our life.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of the fly-by-night fans in wrestling don't understand that you're putting your life in another man's hands when they're going to do holds. When they're picking you up over their heads, or they're picking you up, to do any kind of slam, there's a technique to it. And you've got to practice it. You land on your neck wrong, you land on your head accidentally, you land on a shoulder, or anything else, man, you're talking major injuries that like you said, not only is it going to put you out of wrestling, which is bad enough, but it might take you out of your shoot job that you have outside of wrestling and taking care of your family. That's how important that is. So when people get mad at things like that, as a fan, I appreciate that because I want all the wrestlers in the ring to put on a great show, but at the end of the night, I want them to all go home to their families, man, just like I'm going to do when I get in my car to go home. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Going back to the guys wanting to get in, wanting to train and be a tag team. Me and Dylan spend 90% of our day talking to each other. You know, Dylan's the godfather of my child. You know, we spend
so that's the reason why he's ostracized to the other camera and you guys are together, right? Is that what it is? Let's come on, this is hashtag truth, man. I mean, come on now.
Sean Ellering is my father-in-law.
Okay.
You know, it is what it is. But it's a lot of time has to be spent. I spend honestly about the same or more time with these guys than I do my wife, my child. You know, just because this business that we love, you know, we travel. You know, we work a 45, 50-hour a week job, and then on the weekends we're not here.
I'm not
Just
laughing
about-
at you. I got to show you this.
What?
Oh,
Felix
come on,
Feelgood said, y'all owe us a thank you for helping y'all retain the IWC tag titles.
Don't
When?
take another leg drop.
Yeah.
Wow. He said, go take another leg drop. Man, oh, man, that was harsh, man. That was harsh. GCW said there's over 2,000 wrestlers in the state of South Carolina alone. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I've only had like probably 30 on my show, so that'll tell you
Yeah.
how many I got to go. So I'm not going to have a shortage of wrestlers anytime soon. But man, let's get back to what we were talking about with these young kids, man. You guys said you got a couple of kids that are joining the group. Are you taking them under your wing, helping them train? Telling them how to be part of the foundation, how to be the foundation, or do they usually just come in and go? How does that work?
It's a mindset. Really, you know, a lot of the younger guys who haven't been in the business, you know, a lot of them don't know how to be heels. So it's, you know, basically you have to have a mindset that you're going to be able to go out there and you're going to be able to stand toe to toe, you know, side by side with us and be able to perform just like we did. You know,
Right.
we're not going to go out there and do flips off the top rope and, you know, stuff like that. We're basically hard hitting.
What do you think about the way wrestling is going today? It's more I hate to use this term, but it's a term used and everybody knows it. What do you think about the spot monkey type matches that are out there today and the difference in what you're talking about and those kind of matches?
Wrestling's definitely changed since I started. I mean, as I was breaking in, there was, you know, Ring of Honor and thing, you know, those promotions where the guys were more or less spot after spot. Not so much now as, you know, previous years, but I seem to think that I can work both styles. I prefer a slower paced match versus a spot after spot, but it also depends on the crowd you're working in front of. If you're working in front of if you're working in front of a bunch of hillbillies that are, you know, just sitting on their hands, slow it down. They're not grasping what you're doing when it comes to a spot match. And, you know, if you're working in front of a lot younger crowd that's into that, give it to them. I'm all for it. But a lot of times you see guys trying to go spot after spot and just the people don't get it. I mean, they're just.
Well, there's also, you know, and I saw this on AEW on their last pay-per-view. You have one match where spot after spot after spot, they had the tag team championship match. I don't know if you guys saw the pay-per-view or not, but the tag team championship match was spot after spot after spot after spot after spot. And then they had their big championship match, the match afterwards, and it took totally away from that because the crowd was all into spot, and then they got into real wrestling, and the crowd was sitting on their hands, man. That's another reason that I think, it's good to have a spot here and there, but like you say, it's got to be part of the story you're telling in the ring, not just, hey, look what I can do, that sort of thing, because all in the end, all you're going to do is get a couple of hurt wrestlers, and like you said, nobody's going to understand or come back the next week to watch these guys because what they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can have a match and like look at the old school matches where it was just like, in your face style, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, going at whoever they fight. They're one spot after spot after spot. But people remember those matches because the bad guys were dominant.
Right.
There's psychology missing in wrestling today. You can go out there and do 2 or 3 spots, but if they don't match the psychology of the wrestlers, nobody's going to remember the match.
Right. And that's one thing that, again, everybody take a drink. Here comes my favorite saying, give us something to invest in. I would rather you give me a slow match and give me a story in the ring than, 15 flips off the top rope, because I want to pay my money to come back and see what's going to happen next. But if it's just a bunch of flips, that's all there is to be seen. You've already done everything in your arsenal. So, other than, a promo you can cut, what else is there? Sometimes they overdo their stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you put all your stuff out there in one match, what am I going to come back and watch next week?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It definitely makes it difficult on guys like Travis and I, to perform in a ring after, some guys that just gave them everything. If we go on after, and I'm not saying that those guys aren't having great matches,
No.
but when you literally give them everything, the rest of the show means nothing.
Yeah, it's sort of like, and some guys, and I've seen it. I don't go into locker rooms. I've never been in a locker room, but I can imagine some guys will come into the locker room with, okay, follow that. You know what I'm saying? That mentality of, look what we just did, go out there and try to match that. You know what I'm saying? And that I don't like that in today's wrestling. I would rather everybody work together, tell stories, and have people come back. That's what makes wrestling fun. You know what I'm saying? That I just don't understand that at all. So, oh my gosh, we got people blowing up over here. Let's see what some of these people have to say. Robert said, give the respect to the moves to tell the story. I agree with that.
Exactly.
Felix says, I can't understand how you take a Canadian destroyer, then stand up and give a destroyer.
Good point.
Yeah, I'd say that. Guys don't know how to tell a story anymore. Now, that is one thing as a fan, and I can only speak as a fan, that's because they haven't been trained the right way. Again, these are the guys that are getting in too early. They're going in there, and you guys were talking about heels not knowing how to be heels. The first thing I look for in a heel when they come to the ring, and I'm a fan of 30 years, so I've seen all kinds of heel play. And if you go into the ring and after your first move, you forget to look at the audience and make them mad, that right there tells me you've been trained wrong. You should be making almost every move you make. You should be, yelling at a fan, doing something to make them angry. Some guys even forget to do heel moves. They go, they turn into spot monkeys and they start, doing forearms instead of fists. They start, it's just crazy. I don't understand sometimes, and it makes me so frustrated. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, my give me something to invest in thing started a long time ago, because I would rather have you give me a story and come in and know what you're doing than come in and not know what you're doing. You're not only making yourself look bad, but you're making the promotion look bad. You're making all the other wrestlers look bad, and I just don't understand it, to be honest with you. What do you tell somebody? Here's a good question. What do you tell somebody? Let's use that ugly duckling match as a reference. What would you tell those kids when they got back to the back if they were in a match with you? What would be the first thing that would come out of your mouth?
Well, I actually we had this incident ourselves this past Saturday, and the first thing out of my mouth was, "You've got to be kidding me! You guys need training." They can take it how they will. In that situation, I can get a little rough in the ring. That's just me saying, "Hey, dude, you're not going to hurt me."
Right.
And I may come off as a bully in the dressing room after an incident like that, but
is it really being a bully though when they're putting
Right.
your life on the line? When like we said, you can really be hurt, and that'll like we said before. Not only is it wrestling related, but they're taking your livelihood.
Right. I try to sit the guys down and tell them, look, you really need to get the proper training. You really need to put the effort into learning this craft before you hurt someone. Not only, and if you don't hurt someone, you make them look like crap. You make everything that we work hard to do look like garbage.
I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to block probably your guys' faces for a minute. It's pretty long, but I want to read this because this is from another wrestler, and I think it's pretty cool. Robert Veen said, "I wouldn't say no trained properly. These new generations don't care about the art of storytelling. They only care about the holy shit chant instead of telling a story and leaving the crowd with a silent holy shit. Now that's wrestling moment." I agree with that. That's basically what we're saying.
Nowadays guys don't care about going out and telling a story, because half to a quarter of the fans are their family. They want to go out there and be a spot junkie for them. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I have to come home to my wife, my daughter. Dylan has to go home to his fiance. Sean's got to come home to his wife, his grandchild. And what we do, we perform.
Right.
No
doubt.
And having the proper training is one of those things where if not, it can get a little rough in the ring.
And if you don't have proper training too, it don't look like a real fight. You can tell when people are botching. You can tell when people are not really, when it doesn't look like a real punch, or it doesn't look like a real lariat, or whatever move you're going to perform. If you botch it, people are going to get disinterested that quick.
And they'll be out the door and they'll come back.
Yeah. And then that falls back on the promotion. Then the promoters are wondering, well, why did that happen? Well, you didn't check out the guys you had hired to wrestle in your wrestling event. I'm not gonna back up from any of that. There's promoters out there that'll do that. Just for one, it's cheap labor. Get them guys in the ring. Some of them think experience in the ring. Get the experience in the ring instead of training. That might be better. There's a few out there that are like that. It's hurting the business. It really is.
Anywhere we go and train, anywhere we go to wrestle, we're generally there about 4 or 5 hours earlier than doors being open. And I can't tell you how many times we've been there and we've just been working out in the ring and there's not been anybody there. And it's
how many times have you left and them same guys leave without helping you break down the ring?
Oh,
all of them.
How many? Me and this guy right here have set up and tore our ring down for years
by ourselves.
by ourselves. You know, it got to the point where we were doing it in 45 minutes. We were doing it that fast.
And
Wow.
that's the entire setup. That's lights, sound, stage, ring, everything set up in like 45 minutes, just me and him.
Wow. That's
And
I'm
pure
sorry. I'm
amateur.
sorry. I'll be the first one to tell you as a fan. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I really am. I really am. And even
Here's the thing, Scott, and these two guys, I'm breaking character a little bit here because I'm getting kind of passionate about this. But
Go
these
ahead.
two guys have made it open invitation to any young guy. Get there early. Help us set up. Get in the ring. We'll train you. They have not said anything about money to these kids whatsoever. They just say, show up, put in some sweat equity, and we'll work you up. We'll help you. We'll train you. Not a one of them show up. And some of these young guys don't even have a job. There's 2 or 3 of them that we know of. They're still in school and do this. And we're like, I've got no problem with that. But show up, guys. I mean, it's not that
if you're
difficult.
getting free training and you're not showing up, that's on you. That shows your character. I mean,
but it also says something for my boys here, and I call them both my boys.
no doubt.
They're both I've adopted both of them. One is my actual son-in-law. The other one I love like a son
There you go.
because I've known him so long. But they are invested in this business. They're invested in these young guys coming up. They want them to be successful. But it's like if these guys had pulled this same garbage 15, 20 years ago with some of the legends that we've shared locker rooms with, they would have had to have been carried out.
Yeah, they would have
You know,
got a beat down. They would have got a beat down.
That's something about the business back then. You know, that's just how things were handled back then. These guys just don't know how lucky they are to have good guys like this watching out for them.
And there are others. I mean, I love these two guys. I'm glad they're doing it. I mean, man, no doubt, I love it. But there are other wrestlers out there too that will do the same thing. If you show up early to, one of your shows, I've seen many times, with me being, who I am. Some of the promoters let me get in early, and I see guys training in the ring, man, training for free, helping others, man. They're going over not only their matches, but they're going over, what's, moves and how to do them, and making sure the other guys know, legitly how to, take a bump or what have you. And it's great to see that. But if you don't take advantage of that, you're shortening your career. Because somewhere down the line, you're going to hurt somebody and nobody's going to want to wrestle with you.
Nope.
Okay, I've got to do this because I'm going to get bugged to death until I do. Mr. Travis.
Ha. All right. So let me tell you the story behind this. All right. HVW days, I honestly have, besides the professionals, the best Macho Man impersonation ever. All right.
Okay.
I gotta get into character first. All right.
Okay. All right. Do what you got to do, man.
Oh yeah.
Hold up,
It's coming.
Rogue.
It's coming.
While you're doing that, I'm going to tell everybody. Chuck Winchester went to a show where you guys were at. I believe it was last Saturday. And you guys did, and he did a Macho Man impersonation that I've watched every day since. I'm not going to lie to you. And what was funny about it was he was trying to get him to do a #truth promo, and he got so into the Randy Macho Man Savage that he forgot who I was. And he was like, wait a minute, I was supposed to say something here, but I forgot. And it tickled me to death, man. I laugh every day. I've watched that video every day since last Saturday, man. It was awesome.
Can't find my robe right now, but it'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Chuck Winchester, let me tell you something. Yeah. You come on the #truth. You want to make comments about everything and everybody. But I tell you what, it ain't going to happen because the foundation We're like the mega powers. When we get into the electricity, it just goes round and round because we are the cream of the crop. Yeah, no one does it better than the foundation. Dig it?
There you go, Chuck.
There you go,
That
Chuck.
was awesome, brother. That was awesome. I love it. I love it. You can never go wrong doing Macho Man, man. I could just imagine, because if I could do Macho Man, me and my wife, every time we got into an argument, I'd hit Macho Man just to make her laugh,
great.
dude. It
My
would
wife
be
hates
awesome.
it. My wife hates it.
Even better.
That's it, right? Even better. Oh my gosh, man! I think we struck a chord with the young kids not getting trained. There's still things coming in over here about that, but we've got a few more minutes before I get to the last segment of the show, which is my favorite favorite part of the show. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but in a few minutes we're going to do something called Name Drop. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop 5 names on you from your history or whatever in wrestling and things like that. And you can, why not? Let's go ahead and do it right now. While we're talking, why not? Let's have some fun. We're going to do name drop. You can shoot on them. You can say they're your friend, foe, they're good, they're bad, they're ugly, they're whatever. But we're going to drop 5 names. Anybody can answer. The 5th one is going to be for Dylan alone. I was told that this name was specifically for Dylan, but the first 4 is for everybody. The first name for name drop is Tim Toller.
Love him. He's a great friend. Awesome promoter.
That's it. Nobody
You're not
else.
gonna say
Oh, I
anything?
agree.
All right.
100%.
I'll go on there and say Tim is awesome, guys. Not only as a wrestling promoter, but just as a person. He's a great guy. He goes out there and he gives his all for anybody in his life. He truly cares about people.
No doubt about it, man. I love him to death too. He comes on my show every once in a while and gives comments and talks. I've not met him in person yet, but there'll be a day. The next name on the list, Gary Benfield.
Well, that's my trainer. I mean, that if it wasn't for that guy, man, I would not be in wrestling. So he gets a lot of crap from a lot of guys, man. But and he and I hadn't always seen eye to eye. But like I said, if it wasn't for him, I would definitely not be in wrestling. So I definitely call him a friend and a brother.
Isn't that amazing how wrestling works? I didn't mean to cut you off, but isn't that amazing how wrestling works? How somebody can train you, and then years later, well, we don't see eye to eye, but he's a great guy. Only in wrestling do you have that.
Right.
I can't think of another job anywhere in the world where you get mad at somebody or you guys have a falling out or something, and you can still say something nice about the person. You know what I'm saying? Only in wrestling.
Yeah, Gary gave me a shot when I came in. I was still green. I was probably a year and a half, 2 years in, and kind of took me in. And me and Dylan, we've had battles all over North Carolina, against each other, before we become a tag team. So being able to just be in the same building, and now we practically share our lives together is just awesome. And it's a credibility to Gary because he helped both of us. So he's definitely a friend and a brother.
He gave the foundation the start. I mean, we
He did.
started the foundation at High Velocity
he did.
Wrestling. So without that, we wouldn't be together.
Nope.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. Third name on the name drop, Abel Adams.
Great guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a funny guy.
Tell us
He's
about
hilarious.
him.
Abel's old school. Okay.
Yeah.
He's awesome, and he's not afraid to tell you anything that you don't want to hear. He's a straight shooter. He'll say it, and he don't care. If something is horrible, he's gonna say it. If something's good, he's gonna say it. But in my opinion, he's an awesome person, awesome individual.
Abel's one of those guys, when I was, starting out, that I was kind of intimidated by in the dressing room. You have those guys. And it took some time, but then I realized, Abel's that guy that's there to help you. Like Travis said, he's not afraid to tell you like it is. And that's the way it should be.
No doubt, because if there was a lot more people out there telling these young wrestlers, the way it should be, and gets people to listen, that even if it's an intimidation factor, like you were saying, he might talk harsh to you, he might say something wrong to you, but that's what people need. They need constructive criticism. Hey, I said that without messing it up. That was my big word for the day.
There you go.
But some of these guys need constructive criticism and need to, take it and learn from it. And a lot of people, the old man don't know what he's talking about. This guy, I'm going to do what I got to do. And them are the ones that are out there failing. I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
it's true.
If Abel's in your locker room, listen to him. He's not going to steer you wrong, because he knows more wrestling than most people, and he's forgotten more than a lot of people will ever know. So if Abel's in your locker room and you don't listen to him, shame on you.
Dax wants to know who is the real man in the team of Foundation. That's wow.
We're all mean, you idiot.
I knew that was going to be the answer, but hey, they pop up the questions. I got to give them, right? Oh, wait a minute, Sean. You must be a real man, because then he changed it to who's the real man in the tag team. See, both of them raised their hand. You're going to get that kind of answer. All right,
Yep.
guys. Name number 4 for everybody. Thunder.
Oh, a lot of people don't know that Thunder is actually my elementary school football coach. So him and his old tag partner Blade, rest his soul, they were my football coaches. So growing up, I've watched them wrestle, ever since I was little. I love them to death. I'd do anything for them.
Great. Awesome. Last name, and I'm going to give it to all three of you, but I was told that Dylan would be the greatest one to answer this. Mario Hogg.
Oh, that's easy. I want to punch him in his face.
Who is Mario Hogg, my friend?
That's-
Tell me about that.
Mario Hogg's my dad.
Daddy.
My papa.
Okay.
He actually started out as a manager with my uncle. My uncle wrestled under the name Dookie, who teamed with Boomer for a while. But yeah, so he's good by me. Pops is good.
I don't think I'd be man enough to come on any social media and talk about my dad anyway. I mean, I'm just saying, that would probably be a bad day, wouldn't it, Dylan?
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt. So, one of you guys tell me where you guys are going to be in the near future. Where are we going to find the foundation in the near future? Tell us some of your dates.
The 21st, we are going to be at the Silva National Guard Armory. They got a benefit show going on down there. Randy Wayne and Thomas Simpson are putting it together. And then September 28th, we're going to be at the Riceville Community Center down here in Swannanoa for Wrestling for Christ. That's going to be amazing. And then October 5th, we're going to be at East Flat Rock Pizza for their last bike night of the year. We're actually going to be doing a Wrestling for Christ show there. So being able to share the gospel and wrestle like we did over in the Philippines, with Brother Richie, that's really where our heart is right now. So we're going to be traveling all along.
Chuck wants to know what you guys have against 5-Star District shirts.
Because you stole my catchphrase.
What catchphrase was that?
Boom, baby.
That's right.
I have pictures from when I posted Boom Baby from 2014, before 5-Star District even came alive or even thought of, and they stole my catchphrase. And since he's a producer on your show, we're going to have a talk.
Uh-oh.
Bring him in here.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
bring him in.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Bring
Chuck,
him in
they
here.
want me to send you an invite. What do you say to that?
You better get on the video screen. That's what he better see.
Well, I'll send him
Wait
one.
down here.
We'll see if he responds, but I'll send him one. Here we go.
So both those Wrestling for Christ shows, all the money that's brought in is going to help fund the future trips to the Philippines. So we're wanting to take more and more guys with us every year. So it's going to be a yearly trip, and that's what these Wrestling for Christ shows are going to be, is pretty much a fundraiser for those trips.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do my part, man. You guys send me any posters, any information you want put out there, man, and I will slap it up on my page, my personal page with over 2,000 friends and growing every day. And I'll also slap it on #Truth page, man, because I believe in the cause. It isn't a cause. It's for Jesus, man. I believe in Jesus. I'm a Christian myself. A lot of people don't know it. I'm not going to make a big thing about it, but I'm actually a preacher myself. And that's why I don't try to cuss a lot and don't read a lot of those words on here and things like that. I have morals, man, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And Jesus gave me those morals. So, you know, I'm proud to say I love my Lord and Savior. And we have the hottest commodity in pro wrestling joining us. How are you doing, sir? As you're moving your mic around with your thumb.
Hold on. Look, we got to make this quick before somebody gets on the microwave, okay?
Okay.
Listen, Domino's man, you better make me a pizza.
Travis Roberts, with or without Randy Savage, you don't tell me what to do.
We have a
baby.
demand, Mr. Winchester.
How you doing, guys?
Doing
great.
good, brother.
I'm sorry.
But you got to get us out of that light. Yeah, there you go, man. I mean,
Okay,
you're putting
so-
a halo over your head. We know that ain't right.
Well, I know it ain't right. You know it ain't right. Hold on. Let me move to another room here. Okay. So anyway, I have been summoned on the #Truth. What is up?
We have a demand.
Go ahead, Dylan. Tell them.
The 5-Star District will stop using the slogan "Boom Baby," or we're going to turn 4-foot Batman into half-a-foot Batman.
Oh, he's went after 4-foot Batman even. Oh no,
This guy?
that guy
Yeah.
right there.
We're going to melt him.
We're gonna melt him. Oh no, this has gotten serious on #Truth. Look at this.
Look, hold on a second. You can't jeopardize that man for what we do. Come in.
Oh my goodness. All right, here now we can see each other pretty well. How's that?
Oh, I'm good now. I'm good. I get equal
Still
time,
ugly.
equal space.
So
Still,
we have the manager of 5-Star District on here now, and we have the manager of the foundation on here now. Travis Roberts, let's ask you that question again. How do you feel about Chuck Winchester?
Chuck Winchester. I like him even better if he quit stealing our
gimmicks?
Yes.
I have not stolen anything. I have not. I
It's
was just
infringing.
instructed by my clients to do what they do, because they told me, as they told me, when in Rome, do as Romans do. That's 5-star right there.
And that's still gimmicks, correct?
Yeah.
That's still what?
He steal gimmicks.
I do not know what you were talking about, sir.
Boom, baby. Yeah.
See, you admit it.
I admit nothing. I just thought it was kind of humorous with him doing the boom baby. See, boom baby.
Oh,
I can do it too, but I don't. I don't.
It's
So
Chuck, you had a request, and hang on 1 second, okay? We talked the other
Okay.
day. You had a request.
Uh-oh. This is gonna get scary. I don't know what's coming through that door, but we're gonna get it.
oh yes. Oh yes.
Come here, Bubba.
Uh-oh. Are we gonna have an animal on hashtag truth?
Not an animal. The animal, sir.
The
animal.
This is
Oh
the
yeah,
Savage.
look at that. Look at that.
What is going on? What's the doggy's name?
Savage.
Savage. How are you doing, Savage? Wait a minute, we got one down on Dylan Dollar too. What's that one?
Yeah, boy.
Well, we got a doggy tag team going on here. All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Bro, come here.
That's crazy.
Take a bath.
So,
Look, who's that?
hey, how are you doing?
Yes.
Say hi to everybody on hashtag truth. Hi, everybody.
Oh,
She's so
look at that
cute.
sweet girl.
I know, right?
Hello, buddy.
Hello, buddy.
Hello. You are so sweet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's
Oh, I
Vanity.
love that.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I love it. Family show. I love it.
I saw what you said, Abby. I saw what you said, and okay, in your opinion, maybe they are, but they're not 5-star.
Peace out.
Dude, watch it. I'll stick Vanity on you, Chuck. Watch it.
Now I've got to say, of the 5 people I have on this show, she is the cutest. She just blows all
Yes.
of you away.
We can all agree on that.
She just wants to be on the show. She just wants to be seen.
Come here. You
I love
want
it.
you want hot
There's
dog?
All
nothing
right.
wrong with that.
So guys, check it out. I have to leave because, as you heard, I got dogs barking, I got cats meowing.
I have a question.
Uh-oh, Dylan Dollar has a question first.
More or less a statement. Do you not think it's sad that 5 stars biggest goal in life is the same as a Cracker Barrel waitress?
What are you talking about?
Come on.
Cracker Barrel waitress, their biggest goal in life is to get 5 stars.
What? Wait. Hold on. What?
Okay.
He
I
said,
couldn't hear you.
he said, do you say the question again? Go ahead. I'll let
Do
you
you
do it.
think it's sad that 5 stars district biggest goal in life is the same as a Cracker Barrel waitress?
How's that?
Get
They want
5 stars.
They want to get 5 stars.
No. We are 5 stars. We don't want them. We are.
No.
No.
So Dylan,
Oh, yes.
So give
Yes,
me,
we
give
are.
me the number
We
of
are.
stars they deserve. You guys give me the number of stars they truly deserve.
You have a negative reading on here?
I got a 0, a negative, and a 1. So right now, you are being told, hottest commodity in pro wrestling, that your faction is a 1-star district.
Oh, no, sir. I will give them 3 3/4 stars because you want me to tell them?
Go
You
ahead.
want me to tell them, guys?
Go ahead.
I'm the founder of the foundation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. I see it
I
back there,
see a
Sean.
bunch of- I
Why
see
you
a
looking
bunch
all
of head
confused?
shaking.
What have you been drinking, son? What have you been drinking?
I believe there's an original T-shirt, original foundation T-shirt. There are only 3 names on that T-shirt. That would be Dylan's, mine, and Aaron's. That I believe that's the original members
And
of the
I
foundation.
believe
Yeah,
I've
but-
seen that T-shirt. To be honest with you, I think I
gotta
saw
give him
that
credit.
I
T-shirt.
have that T-shirt.
I gotta give him credit. He designed the T-shirt.
He designed it, but he only put the best ones on it.
What? Okay, look. Hold on a second.
This is
Go
this
fill
is,
it in right
this is-
now.
This is the first time I've ever seen Chuck Winchester backpedaling. This is awesome. I love it. Keep going, guys. Keep
I
going.
ain't backpedaling nothing. Scott Larson, hey, listen. Put your spoon down. Put your spoon down, Scott. Quit stirring the pot. Okay.
You gotta
So,
eat.
You
back
can't
when we
backpedal
all
when
worked
you're
at
sitting on the
HVW, I told Viper, hey, you need a faction. Well, what do you want to do? He said, well, I think we need to take Aaron Vaughn, Dylan Dollar, and put them together and call it the foundation because they were the foundation of HVW.
True story.
And that's the way it went down. That's the truth. That's the hashtag truth. See what I did there?
Didn't you just say it was Gary's idea? You
Do what?
You just said it was Gary's idea.
No, I told him. I'm the one that gave him the idea. He's the one that approved it. Oh, there you go, Scott Larson. Put your spoon down. Put your spoon down.
I got a toy knife.
His feet are in the fire. He's dancing. He's dancing. I
Hey,
love it.
listen. In all seriousness, let me say about these three guys, I love them. I think the world of them. When we get together, I think that we have a very, very good camaraderie. We have a very, very good, what is that called? A repertoire? Hey, speaking French over here. But no, these three guys.
But wait a minute. But Sean says he wants to do one thing. He wants to take that megaphone and shove it where the sun don't shine. What do you think about that?
No, I do.
Well,
Travis does
Why?
too, but Sean's gonna help him.
Were
look,
you not?
I have such a dainty voice. I need people to hear me.
Your dainty voice is about as big as your dainty body. we were at no goddamn championship wrestling last month, and I could barely hear myself think because you're going.
I was putting the bullhorn inside the ropes, and I was yelling, "Ref, ref, ref!" And he never would turn around.
I think you made him deaf.
You think what?
You made him deaf.
You made him deaf.
Well, his sense of sight was already gone. You know, that's like 3/4 of the refs anyway.
Say night night, Papa.
Are you going night, baby?
Night-night.
Oh, look here.
Night night. Told you it's a family show, man. Everybody brings their family on hashtag. Miss Laura, how are you doing tonight? Night night.
You ready to go night night?
All right.
It don't
Well,
get any better than that, guys.
I'll tell you what, guys. I've had a blast tonight. You guys are all of you are always invited back on hashtag Truth, man. I've got one more question for the foundation that I've had sitting here since the beginning. I haven't gotten to it yet, and I'm going to ask it before we leave. Are you guys currently holding gold?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I saw both of them get up and point. Hey, go get it. That's what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. I see all kinds of gold straps coming our way. Look at that. Now what does 5-Star have to say about that?
0.
Wow. That, Mr. Hottest Commodity in Pro Wrestling, is the hashtag Truth.
Boom, baby.
I was hoping somebody'd do that. That's awesome.
You better
All
be
right,
glad my
guys.
bullhorn's not in here.
Well, we have reached our hour tonight, man. I appreciate all you guys coming on. Foundation, I hope you guys go on to win 10 more of those belts, man, because I love watching you, man. And look, he's going to show us everything in his house, man. I love that doll. It's freaky, though. But
Elmo.
yeah, Elmo. I got another word for that doll. But anyway, again, I would love to have all you guys back on Hashtag Truth again. Dylan, Sean, Travis, it was a blast tonight. Thank you for answering all our questions, being on the hot seat, and come back anytime. Man, I cannot wait to see you guys. I was hoping to see you guys this Saturday, but I'm being told that New Millennium Championship Wrestling might be canceled this Saturday. So I didn't know if you. Yeah. So, oh well, what can you do, man? But you guys are one of the greatest tag teams in Indies in North Carolina today, and that is the Hashtag Truth. We'll see you guys.
Roll Tide.
We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.